I'm murdered. Yeah, yeah.
Throw your hands up, everyone. Shake the stress that's killing you. Fancy footwork just like me. Shake it over this dance floor. Throw your hands up, everyone. Shake the stress that's killing you. Fancy footwork just like me. Shake it over this dance floor.
Enjoy your life, be free and wild. Enjoy your life, have some fun. Enjoy.
Coming up on Mental Health Marty, it's the first Monday. Y'all, I'm all tongue tied, but come on and join us because it's hot topics and you know what we talk about. See you soon. What's good, everybody? It's Martina Sellers, your host and your mental health hygienist, coming to you live and always in living color in Southern California, where the sun is always shining. Y'all, I got a little tongue-tied and got a little nervous because it's actually Monday and not Tuesday when we do the show. But because tomorrow is the 4th of July, we're doing it a day early because we want to make sure y'all got your ribs, your chicken, your mashed potatoes, and your potato salad and your greens and macaroni and cheese and all that, so your fried corn, your cornbread, and all that together. But I know, Ames, I'm slowing down. Good to see everyone. Listen, we are about to be in the triple digits out here. Yo, Jerron, what's up, homie? What's going on with you? We hope everyone is doing well and that you are living your best life. Listen, we got so much to talk about in our hot topics today because so much is going on in the world that is affecting us, specifically in this country. But what is Mental Health Marty all about? I am so glad you asked that question. Well, listen, y'all. The purpose of this show, we've been doing this for almost 10 years now. Can you believe it? The purpose of this show really is to be a psychoeducational program to inform us, especially that July is Mental Health Awareness Month for BIPOC communities, people of Black and Indigenous people of color, and that we want to help take the stinking thinking and the stigma away from having mental health or experiencing any type of mental health disorder. Just because you may go through a mental health crisis does not mean that you have a mental health disorder. But even if you have a mental health disorder, does not mean it cannot be manageable. So if you're experiencing any type of mental health crises, please go to your nearest urgent care, dial 911, or get the new mental health helpline at 988 from any number and any phone across this nation. They are doing some amazing things there to help walk you through whatever you might be going through in the safety of your home without any stigma or any type of hesitation to give you the necessary help that you need. Now, how do you stay engaged with us on tonight's show? I am so glad that you asked that question. Although we are streaming live on multiple social media platforms, in order for us to see and view your comments, you need to go over to the Mental Health Marty YouTube channel. So how do I do that? Daryl, let's show them how we do that. Yes, so go to the Mental Health Marty YouTube channel, hit subscribe and the like button. When you hear that bell, that lets you know that you have subscribed and that you will get notification every time we get some we host a show. Who is cooking all that food? I don't know, Mom. You up with a broke leg, not literally broke, but you can't walk. So hey, I don't know who cooking all that. Listen, you know me. I'll call down to Lucille's or somebody and get some help. But listen, how's everyone doing? Can you believe we have completed the first half of this year? Where has 2023 gone? Oh my goodness. We are in July and the June gloom that we experienced in California is officially gone. It was 97 degrees out here where I'm at in this. And so we're too close to that triple digit weather and getting ready for the 4th of July. Hope that you're doing well. Listen, let us know where you're listening and who you are and where you are listening from. I am all tongue-tied today. I don't know what's going on, but we are so glad that you are joining us today. It is typically the first Tuesday, but it's the first Monday, and we're talking about hot topics. What is happening in our community, in our culture, and of course, with our church/Christ. So we got lots to talk about with us. Listen, Mac in the back, has Dr. Margarita Story made it on just yet? She has not. So we're expecting her anytime soon, but we're going to go all the way. We normally see my brother down in, who am I bringing on first? Yes, I can bring them both at the same time. Dr. Mac in the back is talking to me. Let's bring on Dr. Sean first. None other than Bishop Sean Stewart. We getting it together. I don't know what you said. You cannot talk to me in my ear like that. I'm bringing on Bobby, then Bishop. Okay, let me redo this. The Mac in the back is yelling at me, y'all. See, y'all, you need to know the background of what's going on. But I'm going to bring on my brother from my mother, none other than my little brother, Rob Sellers. Well, bring them both on. This is changing the dynamic. Bring them both on.
What's up? What's up, brother?
Listen, if we didn't get with this, I've been concerned.
This is a different format tonight. And he talking about, so I don't know. Well, normally I bring in Dr. Story, and then what's going on, John? How you doing? Man, listen, excited for the conversation too. Thank you for joining us in San Diego. Yes, y'all got the beautiful weather down there and the blue waters. Yes, Auntie, what's going on? Listen, Bishop, how you been? You're in a new location tonight. You're not in your hometown. There she is, Dr. Story.
Is.
Baby, she,
Listen.
wait a minute. Look, she crooked.
Yeah.
Hold on. Baby,
Get it right. That's right. Get it
Listen.
right. That's right.
That's right.
y'all done took off before me. What's going on?
How you been?
What's up,
Listen, Dr.
my
Story.
son?
We all listen. I don't know what's going on today. I'm off. You got here, we just off, but that's okay. But we together. That's all that matters. We are together. And baby, you're looking good. I don't care what Bob say about you.
You know what? Whatever he say is the truth. I'm trying to tell you.
It's a different Bob. It ain't me.
Whatever
right.
he say is
It's a different Bob. It's not me. It's not me.
Listen, let's be real clear. And whatever he said needs to be cleared before it go public.
Yeah.
now that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, and ain't nothing made it to my desk yet from him. So he should be sitting like the Fifth Amendment. He should be quiet until Christ himself comes and parts his mouth.
Listen, we're grateful.
It
to
is
God.
so good
Y'all
seeing everyone.
It's so good to see y'all. Forgive me. Y'all know y'all the best part of my month. And I don't even know what's
Come on.
happening. I'm getting old, all of that.
He changed the day, Rita. He just changed the day. We all
I
off.
did. Yes.
But
Because,
I agree
I don't.
to it. I agree to it.
It's
I got
okay.
it all.
What is your secretary's name?
Denise.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah.
Denise and I would need to share space.
Denise Thomas. Denise Thomas. She on my Facebook
Denise
page.
Thomas. I'm gonna go get
Denise
Denise.
Thomas.
Sister Janice,
Yeah,
good to see you, baby.
Madam Thomas is going to hear from Bishop before the sun rises in the manana.
I
I
tell
don't
she on my
understand.
Facebook page, she'll tell you, and then she'll be like, stop talking directly to her because she'll say yes before she have the capacity to do it. That's what she gonna say.
Yeah, we understand. That's how we all
Stop
roll,
talking
right?
to me. Stop talking to you before I go. Who am I not talking to?
Don't talk to me.
Oh, okay, got it. Because we were
Yeah.
not. I just wanted to be clear. We were not. According to the text message Rob just sent me, we should not be talking to you at all.
I don't know what the
Rob,
hell's
what
going
did I
on.
do? Rob, what
I
did
didn't.
I do?
I didn't do any. I didn't say or nothing. Do you know I got love for you. I would never badmouth anything negative towards your way. Never that. I think they're trying to set me up somehow.
Let's move on to see everybody. Let us move on to these 12
Yes,
topics that he done gave. Rita,
I
you
did
seen
not
his
send out
list.
12 topics. I did
I
not
saw
send
the
out
Rita,
list.
12 topics. I
Rita,
just
you
Saw
sent
the
saw
out
the
list,
a
list.
few
baby.
little.
I saw the list, honey.
This,
It's listen. We can also add on here world hunger, and then we need to solve
Well,
every problem there is in the world.
That's funny. That's
y'all, we don't
that's
see each
funny.
other enough, so y'all get to get a glimpse of our real lives, and this is how we are
Sorry.
all the time. This is how we are. I love these folk on this call right here,
Yes.
here today because we have a great time. Because what I love is
Yes.
that we are too often. I think sometimes we get the cast and viewed wrong that we are super deep as Christians, but we like to have a good time, laugh like everyone
Yes.
else. We have the same social issues and problems like everyone else. But let's jump into this tonight, y'all. Can we just talk? I'm just like Supreme Court. That's all I got to say. Supreme Court.
Yeah. I
eviction.
don't know what's
Matters.
supreme about it, but okay.
Oh, the
What Bishop?
privilege. What's supreme about it is their privilege, their unchecked
Mm,
privilege. That's what's supreme
mm.
about it. And their ability to twist law to benefit a certain set of people. I don't understand how we can say that the United States has blind justice anymore
Well, justice
because
has never been blind.
it has never been. And the Supreme Court is now so political. I have done what the song said. I've searched all over. And I couldn't find nobody on the Supreme Court with unbiased political views in the last 8 responses that has come out of that building.
Well, this is
Ketanji
true.
Brown Jackson is right. We have
Oh
forgotten
my
our
goodness.
old accomplice. We forgot it. We
Mm-hmm.
forgot it.
Mm-hmm.
We forgot
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
Because these decisions that's coming down, and then all what we're hearing also, all the additional privileges, because the Supreme Court does not have to, they're unchecked. Like Congress is supposed to be checked on the additional free services that they get, and so we're finding ourselves at this conundrum in our political and world views as a nation, because the very system that's supposed to be the most just, we're finding so much corruption and changing everything. If we're not careful, we're going to swing back into Jim Crow. And here's
We've
the thing
already
about
sprung. We've
Yeah.
you're
already
right.
Right.
sprung. We're already
You're
here.
right.
And the corrupt, the unchecked power is not my concern as much as it is that the Congress has not done their job. When Kavanaugh was in place and they were bringing Amy Coney Barrett and all of this stuff came into place, Mitch McConnell had no problem authorizing security, additional security for them. No issue.
Well, it's Mitch
But
McConnell.
now,
That's all you got to say.
but now we have this thing, and because what people forget, Mitch is a tactician. He used to be a judge and a lawyer. So Mitch is not completely oblivious to what
Oh,
this
of
should
course
look
not.
like. But what I find amazing is that his silence is so deafening that it's scary, because the Republican Party has always followed what he's had to say. Now, let's be clear. He packed the court with every person that we see that's on there, even down to
But
that idiot in Florida.
Yeah.
that was intentional.
Yeah.
It really was, because
And
we
so
know
Mitch has
now
the
got
power
power.
that they have. It is.
we're
It is.
covering the price of this. And so now Roland Martin is right. If you don't get your ass up and go vote,
Got to vote.
Right.
Yeah. But
Vote.
voting
Yeah.
is not gonna change
Shut
this
the court.
like that yeah,
No.
now I don't care what voting is not going to change this. One of the things that I guess has me concerned is that these underrepresented and disadvantaged groups who had been marginalized by those that are empowered will now be marginalized once again. And there is data that already proves that occurs, and even in the UC system, that
Yes.
they
Hmm.
utilize some of their information at Marty and I's alma mater at UC Berkeley. They
Yes. That's
utilize their
right.
information that 7 years previous they had 7% black. Once they voted against affirmative action, they're currently at 2%. And
At
and,
two
and
Yes.
percent.
why? And why? Because there is
Hmm.
no affirmative action. But let me say this also, because affirmative action, in essence, is suggesting that our race should not have anything to do with our matriculating through the halls of academia, but it does have an influence on those who are suspects for
Mm.
legalized slavery that's going
Hmm.
on in
Mm.
our institutions. So then our law enforcement can utilize race. They can't say a
Sure.
man 6 foot such and such. They got to say a black man because that detail is important to arrest you, but that detail is not important to
To
educate you.
educate.
But then it
Mhm.
Right.
is important because of the military, because the military feels like they need to have enough individuals who are of different hues and ethnicities in order to balance out and ensure that we have the proper individuals placed to defend our nation, but not those same guidelines when we are educating our nation. And y'all, we are a day late and a dollar short, because when
We
that
more than
boy
a
put
dollar with
them in those,
inflation.
well, okay, so then $10.
Right. Because what happens is Dr. Story is
But
when we look at this. Go ahead.
no,
I
no,
said, but when
baby.
we look at this, what I'm saying, when we look at this, I saw a clip on this because now we got to look at the elimination of affirmative action, but we know that all that is driven by, let's go back to redlining. And that so
Yeah.
now we got, you can't escape redlining. So now we got people in BIPOC communities. We have force in specific communities. We know that those communities are underfunded when it comes to education. So it's a triple threat that we're keeping them out because they don't have the same equal dollars, the same spending, the same equipment, the same knowledge or things that come to before them. So they don't have the same learning. And then we also have them, you have to take these SATs and ACTs and other standardized testing that in these other red line areas, they're not groomed to take those type of tests in those regards. So it is a triple a triple threat in that regards, or a triple elimination that's happening. Because although I got into UC Berkeley on the EOP. Now, listen, let me tell you something. It wasn't that because my grades weren't there. Listen, I had a 3.85 GPA and had a certain, but it got me in the door. But it did not keep me in the door. Once I got in, I still had to fight and to remain in there without the help of an EOP. Did I have access? I had still the same access. I had to fight to get access to those tutors. We had to fight to get access, and even for those professors to listen to us or even grade fair. So listen, just
Absolutely.
because EOP, it only gets us in the door. We have to do the work, and a lot of times without the same resources that others have in order to do that as well. Bobby could speak about that even from an athletic point of view of going to school in Colorado. Talk to us, Bobby, about that.
Well, no question. I mean, going to our earlier point, I think that the whole thing is we've lost the whole area of civics. We need to retrain
Yes.
ourselves on civic matters
Yes.
because the whole thing is on this
Yes.
whole situation is voting matters. When we were staying at
It
keeping our
does.
asses at home, Republicans filled
Come
in.
on.
They had a game plan. They had a long game plan, meaning that hey, once we get in, it's all about power. Okay, so when we stayed on our asses and didn't get to vote, now here comes the Republicans sliding in, and people forget. People forget. The Senate is in control of the judges, federal judges, and the Supreme Court.
Yes.
So once when they packed the Senate
on
with
and know the
Republicans
civics.
because they went ahead and voted in the orange one, shit changed. So once
Yes.
again, Biden, pack the courts. We got to fight this. Pack the courts. Now, with affirmative action, can we go ahead and talk about the legacy now? They want to get out the
Well,
affirmative action.
exactly.
Can we get out legacy?
Yes.
Can we get out legacy?
Yes.
Pat George, hey, this is
Yes.
what we got to do. This is what we have to do. Biden, pack. We got to expand the courts. We got to. We don't
Yes.
want conservative rule.
And he
That
can.
sucks.
That's good.
He can expand
can.
it. He can expand
He
it.
can.
Mhm.
Expand the courts. Let's get these stoppables. They want to go after affirmative action. We're going after legacy.
Yeah.
Going after legacy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then as far as me going on campus, yeah, of course. It's the same thing with the military. Hey, rules of exception. He's an athlete. He's a soldier. We ain't worried about affirmative action.
Wow. Wow. Because in
Yeah.
that we're using you because you've now become a commodity for that school. And so you're bringing up their revenue. But the moment you get hurt or something happens, you are now disqualified. So let's kick you
Yeah, out
out
the door.
and get the next
Out the
token to replace you
Yeah.
so I can then get more money. But
Same
that's
with
the
the soldier.
whole thing. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Dr. Story.
Well, I was wanting to also try to bring in, I guess, to the conversation with this affirmative action piece. What about on the jobs? Because we're
That's the
acting
next
as
step.
if, it's not going to end up on the job. That affirmative action. There are times where it's going to end up in the boardroom because we no longer have anyone that's a watchdog that will ensure that those of color are represented in those divisional
That's
leadership
right.
management, even within the halls and the ranks of academia. It's going to have a tremendous impact. And so then I wanted to ask this: what type of opportunity maybe is this recreating for us as far as HBCUs?
That's so cool. Good and good. I think that we have to step up. Yeah, go ahead, Bishop. Go ahead, because you're an HBCU grad.
Well, now here is what we have to also address. And this is something that Prairie View, which is my alma mater, I love my institution, but we're going through. We are subject to the Texas A&M system. So a lot of times, some of the people we have in leadership look like us. They sound like us, but they do not effectively represent us in the settings that Dr. Story just represented. Because
Thomas.
And what we will find is that they will come back and soft roll silently the new directives that they've been given in the attempt that we won't catch it. Prairie View, a good example, has been producing productive people since it was formed. All of a sudden now we've got all of these new slogans that come down. And in the Alumni Association, we're eating folk alive about it because we know that whoever wrote that don't sound like us, don't look like us, don't even care about us. And then when we call them to the carpet on it, they send us back to the table. So then we're sitting at tables where we are not brokered fairly, and we're also not responding appropriately. If I could, you being pimped for your professionalism.
You're right, but here's what I got two answers to that really, because it saddens me that our grandparents and our great grandparents did nickels and dimes and sacrificed for what we have today in the HBCUs. They were the ones who the churches rose up. When society did not rise up, our AMEs, our Baptist church, they rose up and created. That's why we have most of the HBCUs that we do have. Our juniors and our uncle went to Wilberforce, that was birthed out of the AME church.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was birthed out, and so they made the sacrifices. They did the nickels and dimes, and paid the extra offering and everything to make sure that these kids were taken care of, and brought them into their homes and all those type of things. And then my second point is this: listen, if you don't, if you can't sit at the table that you're at because they want to kick you out, listen, I'm all about. It's time to
Create
build a
your
new
own.
table. That's right, and I'm all for
But
building
that's
my
my
own.
point. That's my
Yes.
point. Back with the Sellers Foundation, y'all are already doing the work. But the reason why I was bringing that up as well is
Yes.
because some of the funding for many HBCUs that keep the doors open
Right.
Comes from.
is it comes from the feds, which was supported by affirmative action.
Yes. Yes. But you're right.
Oh,
But
yeah,
what?
right. It is attached.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
attached to it. And so then, as we're saying, we got to make our own table. That means we got to put up a shut up. And so, at least you guys,
That
as
part.
family, is trying to say, let me do something. But we're at the place now. We got more millionaires than we've ever had. We shouldn't
Ever
have
had.
a problem at all keeping our schools open. But
Yes.
because we don't always value who we
That's
are
that part.
and what we've been able
Yes.
to accomplish, we won't always invest in someone else's knowledge so that that legacy, as Rob keeps
It
bringing
continue
up,
on.
is able to continue.
And I
Do
think
you
we
think
need more.
affirmative action financially hindered the Black community?
In some
Do you think
instances, I
affirmative
would say
action
yes.
has hindered
I
part
don't
of the
know.
In some instances, I would say yes.
Maybe in some instances, but for I can only speak for what it did for me. I did
Mm-hmm.
not use it
Yeah,
as a crutch, but I used it
Mm-hmm.
right.
as a way to break the door down. I used it as a way as I'm going to get in here and show my blackness. I'm going to get in
Mm-hmm.
here and prove to and show that I am just as intelligent, just as smart, and I deserve no imposter syndrome. Even though the imposter syndrome might have crept in every now and again, listen,
Mm-hmm.
I had to kick the door down myself and say, listen, I'm here, and since I'm here, I'm like Miss Seeley in the stage play. You may think I'm ugly, but I'm here. You may think
Right.
I'm stupid, but I'm here. You may think I'm black, but I'm here. And so since I'm here, I'm about to take advantage of every opportunity because I'm not going to be a part of the statistics. Because they even told us when we walked into Berkeley, look to your left and to your right. One of you, the black folk, is not going to be here next semester, and then next year you can take the next two who not going to be here. That's
Right.
a travesty.
And I
Travesty.
said, the devil is a liar, baby. I'm going to see y'all till I got my cap and gown and I'm swirling that thing on top
Right.
of my head. I ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
But to your
The twirling,
to
Bobby,
your
the
point
twirl.
though, we've heard
Yeah, I
this
see it.
over and over again how African Americans can use or those disenfranchised groups can use affirmative action as a crutch. I would love
But
to
that
know
can't be
how
right,
you
Dr.
could do
Ford,
that. There's no way
because
to make it into a crutch.
because if you look at the data from the Pew Center, it speaks to that the people who benefit the most from affirmative action are actually
Oh,
white women.
women. White
women.
women.
Right,
Yeah.
Oh, white
Yeah.
women. It
right.
is not.
Yeah.
It is because if affirmative action was actually doing what it was designed to do, then
Yes.
we wouldn't be sitting at a 10-year high of African American and minority women that are dying so quickly in the
Yes.
hospital because we don't have people that are trained to deal with their cultural identity medically.
Right.
If in
Right.
fact
But
we were protecting our, because if it was designed to do what it was actually doing, then we would not be having this conversation. Because watch this, affirmative action isn't going to be the big issue until the right people sue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now you
What
invert that parenthetically, but until the right people sue about the law designed for the other people, we will still be sitting in this conversation.
Well, I hear that there's a suit out right now in the
Already.
reverse of
Yes,
that. Already.
already.
But Bishop, you speak to that because when we look at our field that we're in education and mental
Mhm.
health, we know that it is driven by white
By
women.
mhm.
Black men in the educational field are two percenters, two
And
percenters,
yes,
and we in the mental health field, we're one percenters. So we
mhm.
Right.
make up more than 1% of the population. Why isn't it equal distribution? Because it was never meant for
Designed
us.
that way. Mhm.
It was never
Never meant to
designed
be.
in that way. So Dr. Story, let me challenge you in this too. You said something about the workplace. Well, we know. Did y'all see the other Supreme Court ruling that came out about now they can discriminate based upon LGBTQ as well in the
Yeah.
employment place. So now it's going back to the don't tell, don't ask rule that was in the military because that's rolling out as well. Now,
Yeah.
now the white LGBTQ is going crazy about that. They are
Right.
speaking up. They done put on their sackcloth and ashes, Bishop, and
Ashes.
they done
Yeah.
mourned and did all this and fallen out and woe is me, all of that. It's a dark day in America, baby. It's been a
It's
dark
been
day for a
about
long
that.
time.
Always
Yeah.
been.
Yeah.
Always been.
Yeah.
It's
I
been-
That's
just,
why
I,
that's what be
so
killing me
one of
talking
the
about when
things,
it's so divided. We're not divided. It's always been divided. Go ahead, my fault.
right.
You
It's not
you
a
all
new
right?
division. It's not a new
No.
division, Rob. You're right. We always been on other sides. Yeah, it's always been like that. But the
And
LGBTQ, mm,
go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Dr. Story.
okay, the LGBTQ, the look, cheering, uh, they done rolled off of affirmative action and everything that African Americans and the disenfranchised were supposed to ride off, and they rode that horse baby well. And one of the things I want to say is we need to get with the LGBTQ people because whoever it is that has been helping them to get their marketing and to get rules
Right.
changed, we as black people need to rally together and put a penny together, all of us, so that we can pay their legal team to somehow come and defend us here in the United States because they've been able to get more rules and laws changed in a short amount of time. I done been here for way too long in these yet to be United States of America, and baby, they ain't been able to fix nothing since I got here. The LGBTQ, they done got somebody, I don't know who them people got, but we need them children
It's the
to
paper.
come
It's the
and
paper.
represent the black children. And they need to help us so we can get our stuff together, baby. 'Cause I don't know who they got representing them. But baby, they overturned. I think it's, let me stop because I'm about to get myself in
We got
trouble.
we
So I was
got we got Benny Crump. We still got Benny Crump. All we gotta do is
Benny
like all these
Crump
other.
ain't been able to get.
We got
He ain't
Benny
been able to
Crump.
get nothing but
Hey
reparations for your baby if they dead. I'm
Benny
talking
Crump
about
settling all types of cases. Benny Crump getting that money. He's settling all types of cases. All we gotta
he's
do is
settling
put our
all
money
kinds of
together.
risk management cases.
We gotta just put our
But
money
but
together like all these other groups. We gotta put our money together. We have to
but,
do
but can
that.
we
Yeah.
That's
go
what it's
here?
money.
But
It's money.
clear, though. Let's be very, very clear.
Let's be
What
clear.
Dr. Ford said is true in theory, but will be a travesty in application because what nobody wants to talk about is that the black church will not be excited about partnering with the LGBTQI on civil matters because they don't believe that we have civil rights.
Well,
Well,
now the
well,
black church will be empty if they do too much
Well,
in a
separation.
minute,
I was waiting. I was
in a
waiting.
minute,
Okay, I was
in a
waiting.
minute, baby, you give it to
All this
2030,
confusion.
and we gonna be
All this
looking back
confusion
talking
going on.
about how we
Oh.
remember church in a happy way, cause it might be dead. Now that's fact. And that's fact. That's fact. And
How
I'm
do you
still
remember
voting
church
on
in a happy
hiring them
way?
church lawyer to represent us. I'm still voting on that.
Yeah.
I'm
Now,
with you.
can we go here since we talk about injustices? now. You like that segue? Since we talk about injustices, now, you know when the Ku Klux Klan and all that burned up all where were they at? They burned up the black Wall
In
Street and everything
Mississippi.
in well,
Oklahoma.
Mississippi. We
Tulsa.
can call the roll. We
Oklahoma.
can call the roll.
Tulsa.
Tulsa,
Listen,
Yeah.
all of
They
that.
done been,
You
they
know,
done burnt up a
everywhere.
whole lot of places. The
yeah,
South.
Yeah.
but you. Yeah, they done burned up all the South. But here's the catch that we don't talk about. When the black folk went back to the banks and said, "Listen, they done burned down." Do you know that a lot of those, not a lot, those white institutions did not give them back their money, and so they've been built upon all of. Yeah, I think I sent that clip over to you, Junior. So when you're looking at
Yeah.
where a lot of these white and these monetary, what I'm calling them, financial institutions, and these banking institutions have been also funded by our black. We have built the land. We was drug over here, built the land, built our own communities. They were burnt down and to the ground. When we went back to ask for our own money, they wouldn't give us our money. They didn't say we didn't have any proof or nothing like that. So when we talk about I don't even know how they would even begin to do reparations. I think it's great in theory. I can't even wrap my mind around it because I got so much to reparate for. Is that a word?
They
To
could start
reparate?
with student loans. They
Yes.
could start with my student
because you
loans,
see,
and I
you
would
beat
say
me
thank
story.
you kindly.
But the
Really?
Stoppables are at it again. The Stoppables,
Yeah.
the Supreme
The
Court
Stoppables.
justice, they were like, no, the Stoppables. That's why I call the Republicans the Stoppables. Because they have no policies. All they want to do is stop everything. So the Stoppables are at it. You know, they infiltrated the Supreme Court. They infiltrated the Supreme Court, and they're like, no, Biden, that's unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And they're starting back payments this October. Interest
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
I
September.
mean, they
Start
could
back-
Start
try.
back payments
They
in
could try
October.
to get mine, but I mean, they already know. I'll put it off. But I'm just saying.
Listen, I called them today. I said, listen, we got to do something. And they gave me the recording. We don't know what this means. Call back next week. I sure was on the phone. 1-800, help me with my loan.
And what's
That
so
part.
crazy is all those Supreme Court justices, they have student loans.
Well, they
Right.
got
Those
their ways
guys
to
free.
forgive it.
Because you got people buying
They
your
ask for
mama's
loan.
house. You go on $10 million trips on a seat that you said that anybody else would have sat in. But this is what I mean when I say it is supreme. We don't qualify as everyday Americans. Joe Biden is right about this. The economy will only become stable if we build from the middle out and the bottom up.
Right.
As much as I hate to say that, trickle-down economics have not benefited African Americans. But now, if you really want to see an African American that has benefited from affirmative action and economic plans designed to benefit other people that have been before his court, look no further than Clarence Thomas.
Well,
Because I
we
want to
know
know,
that.
how do you ethically, how can you sleep at night? What God do you serve that would allow you to go through a program, benefit from a program, elevate
The
and
same God
educate
that
through a
allowed
program?
atrocious slavery and then kill them and say, that same God, he worshiping that other God, which is
Yeah.
a travesty. It really. So how do we bring hope to our community so that we don't? Because I think here's my thought. A lot of the reaction we're seeing with our young people, we got this generation now. They're like, "Oh, f all y'all, we just gonna take ours now. You won't give it to us, we'll take it." But how do
Right.
we help our communities, and how do we even? I don't want to say empower our churches, but our churches are asleep. They're asleep. So how do we bring hope back to our people so that we now entrust and support each other? And because if we did that, we can shut the economy down. We alone, if we just start buying from each other and going out the way and quit being convenient with everything and quit buying Lucci and Gucci and Futon and everybody else and reinvest our own monies back into our own selves, each community. How do we even encourage? Because that's overwhelming to me. I don't even know how to encourage our people anymore.
Yeah. I guess for me, I think I think we've got to begin to mimic the ministry of the master. He didn't utilize the four walls; he did it in the street.
Mm.
He changed lives in the street, and I think
Yeah.
we're gonna have to come out, but we've got to come out with something to say. We've got to come
Yes.
out with some good news, and we've got to come out with an answer, because see, that's what made Jesus
Yes.
different from those that were in the temple. He actually had an answer when they were hungry. He
Yes.
actually had an
He,
answer.
yeah.
When they needed hope, he actually had an answer. When they needed to be healed, he actually had an answer. And for far too long, they've allowed
That's
us to
good.
be magicians, where the hand is
Mm.
quicker than the eye. We not had to
My God.
produce anything, because we've had such charismatic individuals speaking, but the church hadn't had to produce nothing. And so now the world is saying, put up or shut up, because we're at a place where
Mm.
it's necessary now. And so now the church is worried about an income when we should have always been investing. Because if nothing
Mm.
else, Christ invested in community. And so because we don't
Mm.
invest in
Come on,
community,
Dr.
that's why
Story.
the community don't invest, walk with,
Ooh.
support the church. And so I mean, like, we got a whole
Now
lot
that's
of
good.
biblical precedent that makes a suggestion
My
that
God.
when that political marching machine, Rome, was coming through, there was an answer from the
Yes.
kingdom of God. And so now we got to stop shondo, rondo, and hondoing in our
Mm-mm.
condos, and we
Uh-oh.
actually got to get back into the
In
community.
the
And we,
condos.
yeah,
In the
we got to get
condos.
back into the
In the
community,
condo.
and we've got to do more. And then the other part of it is, I've talked about Sean like a dog, and Marty like a dog, and their ministries like a dog, that when they see us standing together, they're like this a mess, because they already
Yeah.
know there's a division in the kingdom. They already know you won't come to my
Yes.
church, and I won't go to your church, and we can't come together. So when we're standing side by side, we look like a farce. We look like,
A joke.
fake news. And they already know it, because there's a line that we crossed decades ago.
Mm.
And because of it, we're paying the consequences for it. But I think we need to look at what the Lord did. And I think we need to line ourselves up with the Lord. And we got to get back at it. And we got to stop making sure that 90% of our money go towards buildings. We got to start. I don't care what
Mm.
nobody say. If
Come
we
on. Talk
making
to us.
sure every other 501c3 ain't eating their money up in the building, and the stuff is actually going to programs that we say we have, we got to start holding our own selves accountable, and we've got to
Yes.
start doing some stuff. But it's old now, because we done lied so long that we had the answer, and then when the people came looking for an answer, we sent them to every social service that we could send them to, and then told them to call us back and start everything out in prayer when some stuff need to be paid.
Mm. Well, that's a
Now,
mic drop.
yeah, and we actually could go away now. He actually could press the button and just turn us off at this point.
No,
But I
no.
will say this, though. I do want to come in on this. Rita is right about what Jesus did, but I want to even push us. We now have to look at things from a different perspective. And here is what I mean. Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X didn't always agree theologically.
Right. Right.
But civically and socially and financially for the community, they were
That's
able
it.
to come together.
That's it.
Right.
And Malcolm came to the church, and King went to the mosque, and they met in the middle. And because they were
Yes.
able to meet, then you saw the Jewish people come to meet, and you saw the Orthodox
Yes.
come, and you saw the Assemblies of God come meet with the Church of God in Christ, and you saw the
Yeah.
Baptists come meet with the Baptists. But now we have not only become magicians, We have become ministries of master manipulation. And so
Mm.
then I said what I said. You come for me, but it ain't safe. Ministers of master manipulation. Go touch it and claim it in Jesus' name. Jesus give you the desires of your heart. That is true in text, but in work, you've got to do some things, beloved.
You got to do,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Seek
And
ye
we
first.
now have to build exactly, and we now have to go invest in partnerships with people who don't look like us, sound like us, believe in what we do, but believe in the civic and the cause that we are forcing our community to look at. Churches are community hubs. We shouldn't be concerned about if you Muslim or if you in a hijab or not. I should be concerned about, do you have AC in this 103-degree weather in Dallas starting at 10
Yes.
o'clock a.m.? That is the
Yes.
question. That is the
Yeah.
question Christ is concerned about. Do you have food? Do you have electricity? Because if we are building these monstrosities of buildings to hold all of these people that are not coming because we're not invested in them totally, why are you calling it a Christ? Call it a church, call it a social club that is specifically
Mhm.
focusing on the division of your elocutionary skills that you yourself don't even have a reprimand of at this point in your life?
Well, let me tag on a little bit, Bishop, because one of the things, though, I dare you to find anywhere where Martin and Malcolm sat down and were running one another down. They didn't
Right.
spend that kind of time. And if you're on any kind of social media, if you're on any type of connected to any type of information, you can hear the men and women of God
Mm-hmm.
just ripping one another apart. And
Mm-hmm.
although, as you suggest, it seemed as if they were miles away, their heart was always in the community.
That's our
It was
community.
Mm-hmm.
always for their people. And they didn't spend, even though people were creating division for them, they didn't spend time with a microphone in their mouths trying to run one another down. They were trying to make sure that their communities were getting what they needed. And we need what you don't talk that, but
They knew
that's
how to
all I wanted to add.
prioritize. Yeah,
Mhm.
Right,
they
right.
prioritized. They saw the need and let all
Yes,
that other stuff go by the wayside.
Go
They knew
away.
who was talking about them.
right.
They knew who was bad mouthing them.
Yes,
But I
yes,
love that the two of them never did it to each other in that regards. Because
right.
here's what I'm saying, and I guess my concern is, and at my church here lately, we've been seeing a influx of young black men coming, and
Yeah.
which is amazing. And they're coming tatted up, but they're coming with their Jordans and all that, because some of these Jordans cost more than some of these little cheap pleather shoes that's the most of them the deacons
Some of
and
their
all that is wearing.
cars. Yeah.
Yes. And these brothers, they are coming broken. And Bishop and Dr. Story, I'm finding it interesting that I'm seeing that most of our men don't even know how to reach these other young men to help them
Mhm.
in their brokenness. And I think we've moved so far away from being able to help each other till it's about me, myself, and I, that we don't even know how to begin to heal my brother. We don't even know how
So
to
what
even
you're
begin to
really
speak
saying
to
is
my
that
sister.
So
Go
what
ahead.
you're really saying is that the church did not teach the community about socialization,
No.
connection. And what you're really
Yes.
saying is that we now have a generation of men who now do not only not know how to connect spiritually, socially, or emotionally. Now we're saying that they are so broken that they don't even know how to connect to themselves, much less to give extra to someone else.
Yes.
So that
Most
we
definitely.
now have to run, watch this, triage on the
Mm-hmm.
church, because
Yes.
now you don't know what chemicals you're pumping out into your community. So now we've got to go back and check. Not only can we stop running each other down, can we stop running each other ministries down? We serve the same Christ, the same God. Can we stop destroying each other's character behind the scenes? If we really wanted to do what Christ did, we would be out on the streets with the whores and the prostitutes and the
Come
folk that's
on.
strung up and strung out. We would be out there in our Lexus, in our red bottoms, passing out food so that they could have something to eat and take the ticket and go pay it, because the ticket is only the byproduct of you doing the ministry.
Yes.
When
Can we
we
just be
get
out there in
back
our Vans and Converse and flip flops? And that's what Jesus was. If we talk about
and
really how Christ was, he was in there. And to the fact, he got so that he began to, and I say it this way metaphorically, smell like them till they accused him of not being who he was, because he hung out with them so much. And when we're only hanging out with the same monolithic group that professes, but we don't see it in their character, that's a problem. And we're going to
Yes.
be held
Yeah.
accountable. I want to do a series this month too, y'all, and I would love to have both of you on another time. I want to talk because the church fails to realize what mental health is, and we have to stop demonizing mental health.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
have to stop pretending, Pastor, that you are qualified to give scientifically proven
My God.
methods of counseling. Your license and ordination allows you to preach the gospel of good news. If you want to be a counselor, please go to school, accredited university, and get your degree, get your license, and practice. And when you do that, you will find that the Council on Social Work Ethics, any counseling, licensed professional counselor, the boards will tell you that you cannot counsel where your initial relationship is personal. So that means, bro, pastor, sister pastor, you can only do the spiritual work. You need the therapist to come in, because all of that you see, that is not no demon. That is not no witch. That is not no warlock. That is depression. That is bipolarism. That is suicidal ideation. That is I'm obese because I'm depressed. That is because I'm anorexic, because I eat and spit it back out because I don't fit in. That is not a
Come
demon.
on and talk to
That
us.
is not something we
Right.
just don't pray away. Being addicted to drugs, alcohol, sex, food, those aren't just things that we walk by haphazardly, take some oil out and lay hands on a person and that goes away. That person falling out could be falling out because your breath stink or your underarms are a hot mess. It might not be because it is the anointing
You know
of God
what?
that you just.
Is the Mac in the back
I'm
on there?
gonna say
Because
this and I'm done.
can you just take me off screen? I just need to
I'm gonna
come
say
off
this
screen.
and I'm done. I'm gonna say this and I'm done. True evidence of your anointing when you go to pray for people isn't if they fall in the room. It's if
That's
their
right.
life changed in private.
Change. Mm-hmm.
If their life changed in private, then your anointing is on course. But
That's
if
right.
your only evidence that a person has been delivered, and let me be clear, deliverance is an ugly process. I'm gonna just get it out. This is ugly. It is an ongoing, ugly process. Deliverance doesn't just happen because we lay hands on you and you fall out of the altar at the church. Deliverance is when you at home in your private life and you decide that you're not going to call so-and-so to come over to smash because you've made up in your mind that you really do want to live saved. I'm talking
You
that you
talking?
don't call brother so-and-so to bring the goods because you don't. The only how you need is in Christ Jesus. Or you don't take your food stamps and go to the liquor store and buy this and substitute it out for that. I'm just saying, when you've made up your mind to do what you've been called to do, deliverance gets ugly because your flesh wants to go back to what's comfortable, and your spirit is reminding you that you don't qualify to be there no more because I brought you out. We have to get back to I'm a holiness preacher. We got to get back to where we practice in private what we speak in public. All right,
That's
I'm
a
done.
fact.
Now may the grace of God and the sweet communion of the
Sweet
Holy
communion.
Ghost
Yeah. That's right.
rest, rule, and
Rule
abide
and
on your
abide.
ashy body. Henceforth, come on, Bible, and say, who is she?
For real.
Listen.
For real.
Listen, I'm just going to put it out there. Church, we
I'm not
can't
playing with
continue.
y'all tonight. I
We've
mean
been
that.
pointing to y'all. We've been playing church too long. And we've
Yes.
been measuring ministry by
And it's been
looking at
affecting our
numbers.
community. It's affecting our
Exactly.
community negatively in that
And
regard, and we have to do. Mhm.
if the
Yes,
people,
yes.
if you want to do what Christ did, then the first thing you have to do is really live John 3:16
Mm.
in your church application. Whosoever does not drive a Camry, have on a daisy shirt and linen, whosoever is tatted, high, drugged, HIV positive, recovering from this, coming from the hospital, and they still trust God in this place. You are nothing more, brother pastor, sister pastor, as an announcing clerk for heaven with the good news of redemption. We have to get back to that. And we got to cross the lines culturally, and we got to cross the lines spiritually, and we got to get folk to the table who don't believe in me, but believe in the people that we both have been called to serve. We can be Muslim, Hindu, and Sikh and still believe in serving the same community.
That part. Well, you helped me,
The same.
so thank you for that helping answer. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yo, can you believe we are at time? We always have, but this
Bobby,
was
you said
so.
nothing and you thought, where's the pen? We need to write Bobby's name down, Rita. He on the list. Did you write? You got your pen?
I don't know what Bobby
Hey,
did.
it was
but I'm
so
willing
much.
to
It was
write
so much
Bobby
knowledge
name
going on. I was taking it all in from the pastors. You know what I mean? I was getting my
Bobby.
prayer on. I was getting my
Got it.
silent prayer on. You know what I mean?
down. Yeah. Yeah.
But y'all, I can't thank y'all enough. Listen, we have so much fun and always. He put you on a sticky too.
Yeah.
On a post.
Hey, we got to get back to the basics. That's all it is. We got
Back
to
to
get
the
back to the
basics.
basics.
Come on.
But
that's
we
what it's
getting
about.
tore up on the court. We getting tore up
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
court. It's time when
That's
you're
a fact.
getting blown out. It's time to break things down
Yeah.
and get back to the basics. And that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do.
That's
We gotta
right.
Get back to the basics.
That's
Stop
that's
giving
the
them
word
our
for
money.
tonight.
We're giving them other checks.
Bobby for president.
Humanity is not Christianity. Humanity is the basics. I don't know of any religion. I said it that rules that humanity should not be seen from one human to the other. I've yet to find that.
That's right.
Now, you
That's right.
decide to do that, but I have yet to find any religious sect that believes that humanity should not be civil one to the other.
Mm. Well, you done heard it here. Y'all, thank you. Y'all know, listen, just look these powerful people up. Dr. Story, great show. There's my Mrs. Mitchell. It's good to see you. Listen, I was worried about you. I hadn't heard about you on the show. Good to see you. That you're part of it. That's
Hey,
Daryl's mom.
Mitchell.
Y'all say hey to Daryl's mom. The
Hey,
mom.
mother.
She has been faithful. Yes. She and my
Hi,
mother, they said this
mother.
is their favorite show, their favorite shows, seeing all of us together. My mom don't care about, we need a part two for real.
Call mother. We need mother's number. There's a couple of them. I need to talk to mother. If someone would be ever so kind.
Well, oh, he
Bobby
muted
for
you.
president.
Oh.
Bobby for president.
Bishop.
Muted him again.
Daryl muted.
You know
Daryl
what?
muted
He
Bishop.
got that kind of control. So it is what it is.
He like the Supreme Court
That's
trying
that's
to mute
fine.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stoppable.
Yeah, you know I don't care. Mute me.
Right. You know sign language, Sean?
I know one in here.
Oh, oh. That's
Don.
not pick a finger, is it? Mom, we know you're watching too. That's why I said, yes,
Hi,
you are watching,
Mom.
darling. Listen,
Yes.
we thank you
Hey,
guys for
goodness.
joining us. This truly is one of my favorite shows that we do because, you guys are here. This is unscripted. This is us as we really are. And, we need to plan a live show where we're in person and let's go up to Williamsport. Then we're going to go down to Houston. Let's take this on the road
Houston.
and bring y'all out to California and just get some live audience and everything. We're going to come to the ATL with the Mac in the back so we can host something down there.
Yes.
If you guys really would be interested and us doing our live, let us know because we want to put something together because we really want to make an impact because we want to change and be what we talk about. We don't want to just talk it, but we want to walk it as well. So we thank you guys for joining us as always in this episode of Mental Health Marty and what we do on the first week of the month every month. I am back tongue tied again. But listen,
Okay, so
we
then
don't want you to. Yeah, we're moving on. We don't want you to suffer in silence, but definitely we want you. Hey, I got a solo spot now. We want you to make sure that you get involved in those type of things. Now, before we go, just real quickly, we don't want to leave you without any resources. So we want to make sure that you have some resources that you can go to in case you need some support. So some of the mental health resources that you can go to, if you are experiencing any type of crisis, you can type crisis to 741-741. There's always some wonderful resources like Psychology Today, Therapy for Black Men, Good Therapy, and even Marcel is actually, dare I gotta get the correct or what that marcelconsulting.com or marcelwc.com. There and all these you can find therapists who look like you, who can meet those needs, who specialize in those things that you do. And may I share with you the book that our children's book that I wrote, and I would love for you to support that. And that is Chris is Sad, our children's book that you can find on Amazon.com. And we would love for your support with that. That's it. The new book available on Amazon.com, Chris is Sad. And that book is designed to help you talk through divorce with younger children. That is not their fault, but they are still loved and adored. And finally, visit the website mentalhealthmarty.com for merchandise to support you along your mental health journey, because we don't want you to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame, but we want you to definitely to stop the stinking thinking. And that is the journal, because we want you to be able to write and express those things. It is summertime, so please look at the t-shirts that we have out there to support your mental wellness in this amazing journey called life. We don't want you to, again, to suffer in silence in the shadow of shame. But you know what we say? We want you to speak up, speak out, and live so that you can enjoy your life. Join us on next Tuesday, back at our regular time. Have a safe and prosperous holiday time. And remember, keep God first. We love you. Take care.